Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge.
All I got is bourbon.
Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Hey, we're back at it with Dark Arts. Maybe one of the craziest names I've ever heard in whiskey. Dark Arts Limited Edition Volume 3, the Blunt Blend. Yes, Dark Arts Blunt Blend Volume 3. Can't wait to dive into this one. This was a whole another topic. Before we dive into this one for today, real quick, one quick update for the channel. Before we release our next barrel pick, we are down to, I think it's like a dozen, maybe 11 or 12 bottles left of our infamous double oak. So if you're interested in grabbing a bottle, make sure you go ahead and check out the link in today's episode. I'll pin it as a comment as well. It's a 9-year double oak, 6 years in the first barrel, 3 years in the second. Absolutely, hands down, one of the best double oak whiskeys I've ever had, and also one that came from the channel. So if you're interested in grabbing a bottle, go ahead and grab one of the links in today's episode. All right, so I've heard of a lot of things in whiskey, right? Cigar blends, various different finishes, 4 grains, 5 grains. I have never, ever heard of a blunt blend. Yes, you did not hear that incorrect. A blunt blend. So, hey, this is pretty cool. This is volume 3, so obviously I missed volume 1 and volume 2. But when you think about Dark Arts, so Dark Arts obviously based out in Kentucky. They have a huge following. They've produced some great, fantastic whiskey. They are an NDP, so a non-distilling producer. And when you think about Dark Arts, other than the fact that their whiskey is really cool, I mean, from a branding standpoint, their branding is on point. Always very, very sharp, very crisp. So I give them credit for, again, producing and sourcing great whiskey and producing great batches as well. So this blunt blend, a little bit interesting. Some might say, Judge, is it a little gimmicky? Hey, it might be, to each their own, who knows, but we shall see, right? We shall see. All right, so what do we know about the Blunt Blend Volume 3? So it's an 8-year-old rye whiskey. It's coming from MGP, so distilled in Indiana on the back, so I assume MGP. So 8-year-old rye whiskey, 95% rye, 5% malted barley, so a 95-5 combo. Now the cool thing about this, because obviously they're saying it should be paired with the blunt, it is a finished rye whiskey. So it's a rye whiskey finished in ex-Armagnac as well as ex-Madeira wine cask. So that's pretty cool. When you normally hear a rye whiskey finished in Armagnac and then Madeira, typically that goes very well when you pair it with like a cigar. So, but in this case, maybe pairing it with a blunt. Hey, to each their own, but we shall see. But an 8-year-old rye whiskey finished again in ex-Armagnac as well as ex-Madeira. Now we do not know how long the whiskey spent in the Armagnac or the Madeira cask. That unfortunately we don't know. What we do know is the MSRP. So it's a $100 bottle. When you think $100 for an 8-year-old, it's not too far off the whole I guess like the $10 per year rule. So in theory, it should be $80. But because the whiskey was finished in a Armagnac and a Madeira cask, those different casks, that costs money, right? So that $100, I think that's actually pretty much kind of on point with what I would expect from a price standpoint. So price-wise, I'm actually good with the $100 as long as the quality of the whiskey matches. That we shall see. Last thing I'll say before I jump into the actual whiskey itself, proof. 113.8 proof. All right, let's get into this real quick. So first and foremost, I love the color. That is extremely dark. I mean, you can see it in the bottle as well. That is like truly dark. As they see on the side here, liquid gold. Well, it looks like it's liquid gold. It looks beautiful. I can't lie. All right, let's get into the nose. Well, one thing I will always say about a rye whiskey, when you take a rye versus a bourbon, in my humble opinion, you can finish a rye whiskey in other like wine casks, like an Armagnac or even a Madeira in this case, a port, no matter what it is. If you're finishing a whiskey, whether it's bourbon or rye, in a different wine cask, my humble opinion is always better a rye finishing it versus a bourbon. Rye is a bit more kind of like harsh, peppery, minty. So when you add the complexity of like a Madeira or an Armagnac, it kind of softens it a little bit, makes it a little bit sweeter, a little bit more bold and refined. Let's get into the nose of this one real quick. So this is really nice because there's a couple things going on here. Number one, at the core, I still smell like the minty, kind of peppery kind of a note. Very minty. But the Madeira and the Armagnac is definitely kind of just softening, like softens it as a whole. You get a lot of like notes of like fig, plum, almost like a raisin note. Oh, very fruity. Very plum, raisin, fig, a little bit of dark chocolate. Almost like some blackberries in there as well. This is really nice. I can't lie. From a nose standpoint, this is absolutely actually amazing. Damn, blunt blend. Where have you been my whole life? Jeez. All right, last thing before I dive into the palate real quick. Availability standpoint. So Dark Arts is pretty much kind of spread across the U.S. in various states. Certain states you can find it, some certain states you cannot. But you can honestly go directly on their website. They have a fulfillment partner which does like their shipping for them. I assume probably based out of DC, but long story short, go directly to their website if you are interested in getting a bottle of Dark Arts. All right, here we go. 3 quick easy favors. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. Let me know what are your thoughts on Dark Arts as a whole, as well as the blunt blend. And then last but not least, please make sure you also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notification each and every time I release new content. Cheers. Woo! Well, damn. Whoa, hold on. Hold on. Wow. Hold on, I need one more sip. Wow. Couple things. Number 1, everything in the nose matches the palate. At 113.8 proof, it is a very consistent pour from a finish standpoint, mid palate, end of the palate, and it's still kind of going. Everything that was in there, like the minty, peppery, but definitely offset by like those plums, the fig notes, the chocolate, the blackberry notes. That is very interesting. There's a drop left in here. Let me get this last little drop real quick. Cheers again. Wow. Okay. So, say, Judge, keep it honest. Keep it real, Judge. Keep it real. If I see this on the shelf in my local liquor store, or should I go online and buy it? The verdict is in. This is absolutely fantastic. Now, you guys know me. I always keep it real. The last time I reviewed Dark Arts, the batch was like $130. I forget the finish. It was good, but it wasn't worth $130. This one at $100 is fantastic. This is one of the best actually finished whiskeys I've had in a long time, and I mean a long time. This is absolutely, truly fantastic. Great job to the Dark Arts team. You could tell that this would pair very well with any object that you are smoking, no matter if it's a cigar or in this case, potentially a blunt. It has like that, all of those like fruit notes, like the fig, the dark raspberries, the blackberries, the plum notes. That is amazing. Now I can tell why that would pair very well with a cigar, or in this case, with a blunt. Damn good. I'm about to go have a cigar with this myself because I'm a cigar guy, and that is flipping amazing. Hey, as we say in this courtroom, peace, cheers. Most important, salute. Cheers to Dark Arts. Nice job. Blunt Blend Volume 3. Peace.